The cappiest cappity.
You have no chance when I tell this story that you don't say any words.
You think so? That's what you got going for you.
I would bet you every dollar the show has ever made.
You're betting me something I'm entitled?
I don't know. I don't know. I think in our position, right? I don't know if we believe in entitlements. Do you? I mean, do you think? Do you think Israel is entitled to their land, Ryan? Do you believe in entitlements?
Well,
Here,
I mean, it's in the Bible, David. So like all the
dude,
land's
Tucker.
acceptable.
Yeah, so like the whole Middle East. Well, I guess.
I didn't see anything wrong with that. Saudi Arabia was not happy with that. Did you see their little tweet about that? Did we exchange about that? Was that you and I?
Saudi Arabia tweets. The whole nation tweets.
I mean, they do all pray to one God that they can't draw, but they
Well,
definitely
we
pray to
can't
him.
draw. I think they can draw them, right? Or
No,
can
no,
they
you're
not draw?
not.
Nobody can draw.
No, nobody can draw an image of Muhammad.
Nobody can.
Pretty sure.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, I mean, look it up.
What is he? What does he like actually look like? Describe him to me. Is Ryan? Is that a thing? Could you describe Muhammad to me?
I don't know.
Like, what are we talking? Is he a white man? He's darker, right?
Oh Jesus!
Well, I don't entirely know. Is he brown? He's brown, right? Middle Eastern.
He looks like a warlord, David, that bangs children.
He looks like a brown warlord. Is he strong? Is he agreeable?
Super agreeable. The most agreeable, some would say,
He
David.
probably wore.
He definitely probably
He
had a
can't
big,
do
long,
white.
bushy
But
beard.
do you think he had like
Probably had like brown, black beard.
No, they wear these big long things, right?
How this is not really how you draw in real life. You know what? I
Well,
could see
I'm
this
using
actually. This is exact. I still see this is
okay.
how you
So
will exactly draw in real
a
life.
couple things. I'm using a touchpad on a laptop, so this is going to be completely accurate. He doesn't strike me as a happy man. Put some beady Muhammad
You're
eyes.
saying disagreeable people can.
He's indifferent, if nothing
He's
else.
got that Muhammad-like smile.
Do you have
He's got
black
that.
hair?
He wears a burqa, right? Oh, that's the women.
A lot of.
You know what's crazy is people should talk the burqa, but then like every Polak ever has a fucking babushka tucked away somewhere from their great grandmother or their
I feel
great
like it
aunt.
comes. I feel like it probably comes from Eastern European, if anything else.
They all have. They all
He
have.
definitely is he was a bearded Muslim man, right?
You're saying Eastern European, David, like as like on the other side of the Middle East?
Yeah, remember when they made up that term Eastern European to define things that basically most of
Eurocentrism.
Asia?
I looked up the word. It's Eurocentrism, David. That's the word.
Okay, so
I was trying to
little
figure it
beard,
out a couple pounds ago.
do you wear shoes?
Muhammad. No,
He
he's
was
probably
shoeless. He was probably
warlord.
shoeless.
You
I
think
don't
a
think he wore
warlord shoeless?
shoes. Sandals? He probably wore sandals.
The sand's hot, David. They got like right
Yeah,
there
that's
sand
true.
in the Middle East. Sandy.
Yeah, those are sandals.
At the brown people sand.
Yeah.
The tan
Well, I
people.
probably should put some sand under there.
I got told by a big black guy one time that he'd rather be called brown than black because he's not black. I don't know.
Yeah, I could see that. Here, this is the sand. I think doing this on a touchpad, like if I had a pen or something, it wouldn't. I'm not saying it'd be good, but it'd be way better.
Oh, you just automatically assume, David,
Yeah,
that
let's
you're one of those gear guys that I need the latest and the hottest tech to make it work.
I don't need it. Like I'm making it work currently, but
David,
it
I'm
helps.
filming. My phone is propped up off a
Definitely
paper
helps,
towel roll right now. I'm literally on a stand of ass paper. What are you doing there?
There's
Making a kid?
Oh, I'm drawing on my wife.
Oh, was this the
A little
thing you want to talk
scientist.
about? Was drawing Muhammad?
No. This isn't. But you mentioned Muhammad, and you said they can't draw him, and I'm like, I just didn't give her a couple tears because she definitely doesn't want to be married to an adult male.
Well, she's definitely like 9, right, or something. What'd Gronk say?
Yeah. Well, when they were I think when she was consummated, she was. I think they were married at 9, but their backup is that the consummation she was like 12 or 11 or something. Where's? Oh no, I didn't mean to do that. I lost my mouse in the bright white. Put a nice sun there. Yeah, ain't bad.
All right.
That's about. I think that's decent.
I give you 3 Muhammad stars.
Okay, well that's not bad. The thing I wanted to talk to you about, I in fact did not. I did not intend to draw Muhammad today, but I just he looks okay, I guess. The thing I wanted to talk to you about that you definitely will have words for. I'm just gonna hop into the. I'm just gonna hop into the headline here. Ryan,
There's only like
I
3 things I would talk about.
I barely think you'll make it through the headline.
It's gotta be so
This is
fun for
from
you to do show prep for the show sometimes to just like collaborate shit to be like, he's gonna fucking flip.
uh, from the Daily Mail. Headline: Declassified CIA files reveal chilling blueprint to manipulate Americans' minds through covert drugging with vaccines. CIA mind control project. Now we've
Daily
talked about those are words. We've already lost
Daily
them.
Mail. This isn't a conspiracy.
No, this is a newly released CIA document. A newly released CIA document reveals a chilling blueprint to manipulate minds through covert drugging experiments. The report, added to the CIA's reading room in 2025, details the government's once top secret Project Artichoke that ran from 1951 to 1956, focusing on behavior control, interrogation techniques, and psychological manipulation.
Definitely
The
shut it
seven
down after
page.
5 years to 6 years.
Yeah, then they just gave up on it. They thought they were
Gave
done.
up $10 million. You know,
Yeah,
no, didn't learn nothing. Abandoned the
yeah.
project. Definitely didn't
No,
put it into
we're
use somewhere else.
yeah,
Called it something
yeah. We're
different.
done. We're done with this.
Yeah,
The
this
seven-page
project.
document titled "Special Research for Artichoke," with an attachment labeled "Suggested Fields for Special Research Relative Artichoke," outlines proposals to develop chemicals capable of altering human behavior. It discusses drugs designed for both immediate effects like truth serums and long term influence, potentially administered through food, water, alcohol, or cigarettes. Researchers also suggested that such substances could be disguised in medical treatments such as vaccinations or injections. The CIA was also looking into methods beyond chemicals, listing hypnosis, sensory deprivation, gases, and other psychological methods for interrogation and behavioral control. Artichoke served as a precursor to the CIA's MK Ultra program, which later broadened mind-altering experiments on a larger scale. Many files were destroyed in the 1970s, leaving the full extent of the research and how far it progressed unknown. For those
What
who
do you
aren't,
mean unknown? It's called the fucking algorithm. It's called marketing. It's now, David, I know we know this, right? As like people that sit on our couch with a $0 news budget for research, but it's called marketing and capitalism, you fucking assholes. What do you mean like the research? That's why you guys know how to get us to spend all of our money and keep your system afloat so you can fuck kids on islands. Like it's literally there's you know what's so funny is we made the joke. Did you read any of this or is this all hot for you too?
I read very little of it.
Okay, because it's funny. We were like, yeah, probably, definitely didn't disband and anything else. And then they're like, the precursor to MK Ultra, as it's like, okay, and you seen what they did with that fucking thing, and then all the
Well, that
Charles Manson ties, and then we wonder what it evolved into. Well, what the hell
I gotta
happened in
buy
the
it. I have to buy
'80s?
that book. I
I,
can't
I,
justify the hard copy. I really can't.
the fuck you can't.
I
It's
can't. I
you're
think
literally owning history.
it's
You're
I
owning
yeah.
history. You think a soft cover is gonna last 100 years, David?
It'll last my lifetime.
It's
Right?
not your
It
lifetime. You're
is.
buying them for Dave. The point of these books is so that someone else other than you
Well,
reads
someone else
them.
should go on Amazon and buy them then.
Oh
They're
my God,
the
David. A
the
true
hardcover
man
is.
plants the seeds of a tree he will never
Uh,
sit under,
well,
David. Don't you?
I got plenty of trees back here, including anti-racist baby. But I'm not this one. This one, I don't think so. We've
I'm
planted plenty
going
of
to get,
seeds with
I'm
our
going,
shows. You can watch the shows.
Dave, I'm going to get you to buy this book. You know what? What
Zero
if I
zero
buy
dollar audiobook, Ryan. I can own it on audio
it? You
forever.
don't own it on audio if they
Well,
can
I'll
alter it,
have it on
David.
audio.
No, David. The hardcover that you'll never, it's etched into hard. It's a statement to the establishment, David. It's heavy and thick. It will last centuries.
You know what's funny? I can find the audiobook so easy, Ryan. Look at this.
Cheap.
Whoa, hardcover's down.
What's it
Dude,
down
that's
to?
129.
That's a steal, Dave. What was it last time?
500. Oh, it's used.
It's every time Rogan talks about it. Buy it used. Who gives a fuck?
New from 975.92. It's going up.
Rogan's talking about it. I'm telling you.
Fuck, dude. Do I have to buy the used one?
Yeah,
I think I
I
do.
mean,
What if the used one's edited? What if somebody ripped the pages out, Ryan?
oh
What if it
my
was used by
God.
the CIA and this is a mind control technique? I'm part of Project Artichoke 70 years later.
Dude, Artichoke is so funny. I wonder who thought of that. Was his name Artichoke or his like nickname?
Yeah,
Artie?
during the State of the Union yesterday, Trump kept talking about the things that are named after Trump. He's like, "I swear, I didn't name it. I didn't name it. I didn't name
I
it."
was watching. I caught like the end. I was texting you, Dave. Um, you know,
Ooh,
I think we're
skinwalkers.
literally we're literally at the point of just like bullying. Like, I don't want to do it to the Supreme Court, but I will. It's like, I don't do you not understand like how like the rule of law is supposed to work?
I feel like if I
No,
keep stalling on this, like by the time I go to buy it, it's going to be $2,800. Like, how is it still going up?
I don't, Dave. I don't think you understand how
It's new.
books
That
work.
means they make new ones. Like, if you could
I
just
don't.
make new ones, why is it so much? Just
No,
make it. Just make it.
they print the book so many times, meaning new it hasn't been sold
So it's
yet.
not like our money. They don't just keep printing them forever.
No, books are printed in like 2 runs or 3 runs. I forget how it's exactly happened. But like when you actually look at books, especially old books, it will say like the 13th edition or whatever. That's the amount of times it's been through
So why don't they
an
just do it like
actual
our money
press.
and print a billion copies? Like to make a trillion. Who
Well,
cares? Then it just keeps coming down in price.
David,
That'd be
because
great,
books
right?
are expensive to make and not a lot of people buy them and read them, but
Well,
they
they're
still
selling for
make them because
$1,000 a piece. Just making fun.
well, they're super valuable books, David. And when you think about it, rich people only buy books, which is why they don't care how much they are because they can afford $1,000 books. So, like, the idea that they're going to stop making books because they're expensive is ludicrous because the
So
only
Ryan,
reasons they make
that
books
would
is
mean
because they are expensive, David.
Ryan, that would mean in that
They
situation, only the
want you
rich
to
people would have the
own.
knowledge.
Yes, David. This is, oh my God, you're stealing all my thunder. They want you to know, they want you to have all of the knowledge.
Like
They
I got
want you to have
some
them.
pretty good ones, and they were not $1,000. So like that makes me think this book is worth the $1,000.
It's out of all the books you buy, it's probably the one. That the Red Book by Carl Jung. When you look at what's that one going for right now? That's got to be a $200 book. Hundred at least
It's got to
sub
be
hundred,
yeah.
sub 80 to hundreds. I'm imagining, but that book hardcover, like if you get like, you don't even got to get a special edition because I think the book itself is like an odd size.
Yeah, they're definitely a couple $100. Couple hundred. Here's eBay 231, 243 on
Hmm.
Biblio.
Hmm.
136 on eBay text and illustrated editions.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're
you
not
can
cheap
get a
though.
guy. You can get the fucking audiobook. Sure, go ahead, go get the audiobook.
Oh, what is this one that's going for so much fucking money? The Rare Bookseller. Psychology of the Unconscious. The study of the transformations of symbolism and the libido. Easton Press. $600, Carl Jung. It's no chaos. Um, dude, that's yeah. I
You
mean,
think Trump's got $600 for a book?
I
Serious
think
question.
he could probably afford a book.
You think
I
the
mean,
guys that
the
own the dealerships?
what
Do you
it
think the guys that own the dealerships we worked at had $600 to buy a book?
I'm sure they got a few bucks. Do you?
Hmm.
What was the size of the Library of Congress? What'd you say it was?
Oh, 180 million books or something, or it
Do you think
was
they
like
got chaos?
800 mile. Yeah. They have like every book ever. They have everything ever written, basically.
That doesn't even seem
It's
possible.
800 miles of books.
Do they have all of my books? Do they have Anti-Racist Baby?
Probably. The Library of Congress has fucking Kevin Smith's like movies in there.
All right. The document was declassified in 1983, but has resurfaced on social media where users are shocked
83.
to see the
83.
CIA discussing methods for drugging
No,
entire
I am
populations.
not fucking shocked. I told you that they've been trying to mind alter you my entire political existence that I've known
They
about it.
they were declassified when my sister was born.
I'm tired. Yeah, I'm also tired of people telling me they're like, "Oh, you were just guessing." Be like, "How am I guessing when Alex Jones showed you the documents?" Fucking, I just told you what he told
Yeah, like
me.
if I show you
It's
their
fucking
documents,
stupid.
how am I a conspiracy theorist? I'm showing you their stuff, and you're telling
The
me I'm a conspiracy theorist.
the other thing that I don't understand is the future conspiracies that you're like when you and I are like, "Oh, this is the same Alex method." It's like, dude, the guys that are in charge right now are writing a book saying, "This is what we plan to do," and they're doing it.
Well, if you go back to
Like New Gaza, like the joke that I made was like, there's no way they had those plans like waiting. Like those weren't just made after the place was blown the fuck up. Are you serious? Are you fucking serious? They just made plans for 180 hotels with all that power and electricity and concrete and fucking supplies and I doubt it.
if you look at
Doesn't mean it's all nefarious, David. Obviously, I don't want to be a full conspiracy.
well, look at Iran, right? We talk about future conspiracies, right? But it's not really a future conspiracy because it's based in the past. If you look at, did you ever hear the?
Good
I don't
point.
remember exactly what they called the Seven Nations Plan.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, Afghanistan. Yeah,
it
yeah,
was
yeah.
Iraq,
The-
Syria, Lebanon, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and Iran, and we have done all of them so far, except Iran. So like
Why didn't we
either
do Iran? Did we just run out of momentum?
that's a great fucking question, right? So you either think this is coincidental, right, that we're going after Iran next, or and by the way, they're using the same thing, right? Isn't it a weapon of mass destruction? Is this not what we're talking about? Like Iran could have weapons of mass destruction, right? They could have had them for a long time, but they're getting really close now. They're getting super close. They were getting close for a while, but now they're so close they can taste it, even though we destroyed all their stuff. So like I don't know, either Iran now is a coincidence, and this thing that I think he was like a NATO commander or a general or something. Maybe he was both. The hell was his name? Wesley Clark, I think. So the idea that he leaked this plan, which he said came from Israel, um, and we
Super
happened
bad at intelligence.
coincidentally to hit all of the countries except Iran, and now we're going for Iran. It's like it could all be coincidental, Ryan. We've done enough of the show though that I feel like nothing's coincidental. Everything
These
does
people
tend to
do.
seem like it follows. But so, like to your point though, like we're showing you the documents. We're showing you what they have out in the open because again, these people have to. They're psychopaths, right, or whatever it is. They have to tell
Well,
everybody what they're doing.
well, are they psychotic if they're doing what the devil wants them to do, David? Like on like
Well, that would
whether
be
or not
ridiculous.
you well, whether you believe in the devil or not doesn't matter. But if those people believe they are talking to the devil and the devil is telling them to do this thing and they have to tell people that they're doing it, like isn't that
Well, I guess to your point, it wouldn't be psychotic. It would just be evil, right?
yeah, I mean, we call it psycho because they're fucking we're
Because
not
we're
psychos.
godly people and not
W-
Satanists.
We're not psychos. We want people to do okay. Like we're trying to the reason we put our name on the line is to make the world a better place, not to take from it and but yeah,
And by
like
the way,
is it
you
really
always have to
psychopathic to
make the
do exactly
distinction.
what you say?
I feel like we always have to make the distinction though. I don't think everybody who wants to who supports the idea of invading Iran. I don't think everybody who supports that is an evil Satanist. I think a lot of people have been fooled and misled by the leaders, the evil Satanists. To be clear,
There's probably like 5 real Satanists, amongst
sure.
like 50 people. It's just kind of like everything else. But like they probably it's kind of like when you go to a concert, right? And you see the spectrum of fan, like all the way from like the number one fan with everything, piercings, tattoos, the everything for the band, the fucking car, everything all the way down to a person that's never been there before. Like, it's probably like that for these cults still. Like, there's probably like you imagine being at like a mid-range believing cult party. Like, yeah, we kind of believe in something.
Yeah,
We
drink
just
the
don't
Kool Aid
know.
if you'd like. I mean,
Yeah, like you
we
might,
have different
if you
flavors.
kind of believe in Satan, you could like, drink the Kool-Aid, but
Could like we did
like
grape berry.
this awkward cringe about like super dark stuff. Like we want to like commit violence, we just don't know where to start.
I'll tell you what,
Um,
if I ever pulled up at a cult meeting though, and the Kool Aid
you're
was
fucking some shit up.
well, I wouldn't necessarily do it, but like if it's grape Kool Aid, it's tough not to have a swig. The shit's good. Grape Kool Aid's fucking good. I think it's good. It's fucking delicious.
Racist baby is in my brain right now because all I have is racist thoughts, Dave, about you liking grape Kool-Aid.
Hmm.
The mm,
We used to
mm,
have sugar Kool Aid, which I never understood because it's like the packets were so cheap. You can't even use like
the
your
fuck
well.
sugar Kool-Aid.
Well, you just when you make Kool Aid, what do? You took the packet, you mix it in water, and then you add sugar.
Oh, so you just do sugar and
It's
water.
just it's without the sugar water. What was Men in Black? Sugar water. Yeah, it was literally just without the packet, which is crazy because like the packets at the time were probably like 80 cents tops.
You could get like
Like,
30 of them
can I
for a
get like
dollar.
can I get like 3 quarters to fucking flavor this fucking sugar water? The sugar and the water are more expensive than the Kool Aid. Like, why is this the ingredient we're leaving out? Please, for the love of God, somebody put in the chat or put in comments if you've had sugar water because you were not able to acquire a Kool Aid packet.
Dude, you got $3 of sugar, but you don't have 38 cents.
$3 of sugar, 42 cents in water, but the fucking 12 cent
Mm,
fucking Kool Aid packet. Like, now we're not adding flavor to this thing.
I think they were just maybe driving point the home that you are so poor that you can't even have
Crazy,
colored water.
crazy. We put food coloring in it just so it feels like it's grape. Uh,
Great by fucking
what
placebo.
color sugar water do you want today? Holy fuck!
It's like how Skittles are all the same flavor, David. It's just the scent that makes you think or something. Like what?
Uh,
Oh,
Project Artichoke emerged during the early Cold War, a period marked by intense anxiety over communist powers and reports of brainwashing techniques used on American prisoners in a war in Korea.
so you're telling me the
Internal,
time that documents were leaked was during the time of Cold War, where everybody thought we were in nuclear war, and it was basically psychological warfare at the same
yeah,
time
that's
as they were also experimenting with psychological warfare.
no, well, that was probably conspiratorial. Internal CIA memos suggested that U.S. intelligence feared enemy nations had developed ways to control human thought and behavior, prompting the agency to explore its own capabilities. Now, my
How in the
understanding of MK
fuck?
Ultra
How
is they absolutely had proof that Russia was attempting, but with minimal success. That was my understanding of MK Ultra. Is that actually Russia was doing it first, and then
dude?
we, with minimal success,
This
found
is
out
they hate us
they were having
because
small
they
success.
this is they hate us because of our freedom, and then you go murder a whole country of people. Booby trap buildings in Gaza.
Well, they were all booby trapped, right? They all had tunnels.
All of them. They're able to infiltrate our mind. How? The television. Were people this stupid? Nobody questioned this. Nobody.
I'm just thinking about LSD vaccines, honestly.
Dude, nobody in all of our forebears was like, maybe like they're not trying to brainwash us.
Sections of the document discussed hypnosis, psychological techniques, and gases, aerosols, and oxygen deficiencies. demonstrating that the CIA sought to combine chemical, environmental, and mental approaches. Ryan, when was the Nuremberg trials?
The end of World War II, David.
So, like before the 50s.
Hmm.
So this
Some
is a
would say before the 50s.
pretty fucking direct violation of that. I'm
Well, if they
assuming.
were doing it to prisoners of war, David, was it really violating Nuremberg?
Are prisoners of war humans? Human experimentation under Artichoke often involved vulnerable subjects, including prisoners, military personnel, and psychiatric patients, typically without informed consent. Is that Nuremberg trials? Is that a violation, Ryan?
I don't know. Did the news article tell you that, or you're just referencing your history of religion
I'm
politics?
it says nothing about that. I'm just referencing.
No, so you're just making up something to make it.
I'm just saying if I
Ain't
remember
it crazy
correctly,
that
it's
a
written.
fucking publication with multi-million-dollar budgets can't tell you that it's a clear violation of Nuremberg, and
Now,
that's the problem.
clearly, all the doctors and stuff who were behind this. At least I'm guessing. Maybe not. There's World War II vets still around. I guess. I suppose anything's possible. But I'm guessing all the doctors and everybody who is behind this, who clearly are in the files, Ryan. They
Agree to
all
go along with it?
they all probably right. If wouldn't they be brought up on trials on this? Is that not how that would work? Wouldn't there be like a tribunal or something? How does that work? How do you go about
I heard
getting
U.S.
somebody
officials are
convicted
exempt
of
from
violating Nuremberg codes?
U.S. officials are exempt from Nuremberg.
Oh, just like vaccine companies are exempt from fucking liability. That's very,
Hmm.
very fucking convenient. Who the fuck else would violate it?
I don't know, but they'll go after gun manufacturers, which you may or may not agree with, but the idea is they do it for one and not the other.
Artichoke evolved into the more expansive MK Ultra program in 1953, which pushed experiments further, particularly with hallucinogens like LSD. MK Ultra involved hundreds of subjects at universities, hospitals, and prisons, many of which were unwitting subjects, drawing outrage when the programs were exposed in the 70s. And by the way, including the church committee hearings. Interesting.
Never
Definitely.
heard of those.
Yeah,
Definitely
no,
never heard of those.
definitely never been talked about here.
Definitely never
Um,
heard of.
Gangster James Whitley Bulger, a former organized crime boss, was used as a test subject. He explained he was one of 8 convicts in a panic and paranoid state while in MK Ultra. Total loss of appetite, hallucinating. The room would change shape, hours of paranoia, and feeling violent. We experienced horrible
What
periods of living
was that,
nightmares and
Whitey
drinking
Bulger?
blood. What's that?
Whitey Bulger?
Yeah.
Johnny Depp did a movie that he played that guy, I think.
What? Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
For
yeah.
what?
Dave, if I remember correctly, Johnny Depp played a movie of him, right? That guy, he got away, and then he lived like 40 years without getting caught. This guy beat the fuck out of a lot of people. He's on wanted for like federal charges.
Oh, I'm
Ran for
sure he.
40 or 50 years,
Yeah,
David. And
unrelated to
then
this.
he's like a super old man. He got away in his like 30s or 40s. Super old man, like gray hair and shit. He gets caught as an old man. He goes to prison. And I don't know if he got beat to death in prison or he died, but he died in prison. I am not mistaken. Check.
Johnny Depp portrayed James Whitey Bulger, often called Whitey Bulger, in the 2015 biographical crime drama film Black Mass. The movie, directed by Scott Cooper, is based on the true story of the notorious Boston mobster and leader of the Winter Hill Gang. Bulger was a ruthless crime boss in South Boston who struck a controversial deal with the FBI, acting as an informant while allegedly continuing and expanding his criminal activities, including involvement in multiple murders. He evaded capture for over 16 years before being arrested in 2011, convicted in 2013 of 11 murders, among other charges, and later killed in prison. Fucking crazy. Struck a deal with the FBI. He's
Look
getting
up how
used
he
as a
died.
test subject in the CIA.
Look up how he died.
Oh yeah, this is fucking crazy now. All these people always just fucking die in prison, Ryan.
Yeah, and then they make a movie about him, David.
He was killed on
Just a guy.
October 30th, 2018. That's pretty recent. At the United States Penitentiary Hazleton in West Virginia. He had been transferred there less than 12 hours earlier and was 89 years old, wheelchair bound with health issues. The official cause of death was blunt force trauma to the head, being severely beaten by fellow inmates. He was found unresponsive in a cell at 8:20 a.m. with visible head and face injuries. Prison staff attempted CPR and life-saving measures, but he was pronounced dead shortly after. The attack was brutal and quick, lasting about 7 minutes according to surveillance footage and court
It's
details.
not
Inmates,
quick. Get your ass
7
beat for
minutes of
7 minutes.
ass beating
Is
until you
a
died
is a
is an
long.
eternity.
It's 7 minutes to ass whooping.
Inmates used a padlock attached to a belt or placed inside of a sock as an improvised weapon to bludgeon him
Super
repeatedly.
fast.
Holy
Super
fuck,
fast.
7 minutes of getting hit with a
Super fast.
padlock. Holy fuck. Crazy.
Super quick. Just the quick 7 minutes.
The murder appeared planned almost immediately upon Bulger's arrival in the unit.
Just appeared. You fucking think?
The guy who did it was later sentenced to an additional 25 years for voluntary manslaughter in the case, with plea deals involving others. There was significant criticism of the Federal Bureau of Prisons for transferring high-profile, vulnerable informant who has a history of being an FBI snitch to a violent facility, placing him in a general population and understaffing issues. Yeah, it's almost like they're not idiots. They did that on purpose. Who was the guy who killed him? Freddie G's a mafia hitman? Freddie G's, what happened to him?
David, do you remember when they blamed the plane crash on like not having enough air traffic controllers, and then the girl just went left instead of right?
He's like, turn
Yeah.
left. No.
No, I was gonna
Hey,
all right.
fucking kill everybody. I don't know what you want to do.
I froze. Yeah, you killed fucking 50 people, bitch.
Freddie G's is still alive and still in prison. That's crazy. Fucking crazy.
All right, nothing to see here. I didn't know he was involved in MK Ultra, so I'm just making sure that I was like thinking the right. Beat to death with a padlock for 7 minutes is
Well, it
unfucking
was quick.
believable.
Yeah,
Super fast, dude.
super quick.
At 80 something years old, wheelchair
Yeah.
bound. Beat to death
Yes.
in a wheelchair in your 80s for 7 minutes
Super quick.
in a sock.
Yeah. Well, or a belt. You know how much fucking swing you can get with a padlock attached to a belt?
Like inside it, you knot the one end and
How heavy a
fucking.
padlock is? Just getting fucking. They're so dense. You just get jacked across the face. It's crazy. Yeah, I mean, what do you say, Ryan?
Well, I said I wouldn't say anything about your news article.
You almost had it. You got close.
I had 33 minutes of not talking. That clearly worked. So, are you good? You good
Yeah.
over there?
Yeah.
I texted Dave something. Dave, do you want to like preface this a little bit while I gather my internal dialogue here?
Yeah, you texted me. You said, I got a topic. You said, I think I can make a stand against the elites in every time period in human history. You figured out utopia. It's always just vague enough where I have no fucking idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's beautiful, man. I get these great ideas, David. ChatGPT, I texted ChatGPT to roast me in one line because it was like a thing on the internet.
You want
Super
to go
funny.
Grok?
Yeah, it told me that I have so much ambition, but all I need to do is just do one thing and go to bed. And I laughed so hard at that. I was like, yeah, you're so right. I want to do all this shit, but all I need to do is just like do some laundry and go to bed, bro.
That's fucking weak.
What did it say?
Grok said your personality is so bland they should put it on the side of a saltine cracker as the official flavor profile.
It's pretty gay, Gronk.
Yeah, that's gay. Weak. Your roasts hit like a wet napkin, barely damp, zero sting, and forgotten before they even land. Weak sauce king. Sleepy face. Gay ass faggot robot.
Call it a clanker. Call it a clanker.
He said, oh, look, another keyboard warrior who thinks typing in all caps, I didn't even mean to do that, and slurs makes him sound tough. Touch
Yes, yeah.
grass, champ. Your entire personality 4chan is just recycled 4chan scraps. Now that's funny. Clanker.
My
Hard R.
clanker? Harder. Extra harder.
Love you, bro. Jesus Christ. Grok's fucking wild.
Utopia, David.
Utopia. Oh, 69 posts to show. Nice.
Keegan. All right, I'm gonna preface another thing because this happened with the Jesus video. I'm fucking tired of these fucking people. I'm not crazy. I'm not going crazy. I never kill myself. I didn't get this in a movie or a video game or a book or history or art. I put a bunch of shit together. I may be influenced by a lot of stuff and I may be just making up part of it. And I know I have a great imagination. But, David, I punched it in ChatGPT, David, because I texted you that it's cheaper to give us healthcare than to rebuild Gaza.
Yeah, I still,
Or I'm sorry, college. It was college. I think it was
I'd like to
college.
dig into those numbers too at some point.
It was roughly between like 30 to 50 billion, I think, for both. Now I know Gaza you build one time and healthcare is every year. But it was just like I asked like ChatGPT, what's the estimates to rebuild new Gaza? And then I also asked it, what would it be to give everybody quote free unquote healthcare in America?
Yeah, it's saying 70 billion is an estimate. Grok's saying 70 billion.
Okay, 70 billion. And what's it to rebuild Gaza?
That's what it is. 70 billion to rebuild Gaza.
Okay, what's healthcare? I'm going to focus on college for just most of my argument. It's not even an argument. It's just like it's a factual statement.
The guess is 5.3 trillion.
Excuse me?
Yeah, for healthcare.
A year? No, do college, not healthcare. College. Healthcare is going to be too much. I want to do something that's comparable. I think that's why I did college.
First year cost 28 to 35 billion. It says over 10 to 11 years, 415 billion dollars.
Okay, I don't really give a fuck. The first year is what?
28 to 35 billion.
Okay, so 35 billion. And what's it cost to rebuild Gaza?
70 billion.
Okay.
Total program over the cost of a decade, $800 billion.
800 billion. Okay, then look up
This is some plans that Bernie Sanders had cited apparently.
Okay, now look up what's the cost to maintain Gaza over that same amount of time. Like whatever it would cost to run and maintain a new Gaza.
For let's say a decade, because that's the metric they're using.
Yeah.
Are we supposed to be paying that cost? Is that part of their plan?
Well, it's a good question. Like, I'm supposed to believe that we're gonna build them a city, they're gonna make all the money, and we're not gonna get anything for it, which is kind of fucking whack. Except for a lot of the corporations that can rape all the money off of the taxpayers.
In short, 70 billion is the headline figure for rebuilding / recovery over a decade. 20 billion is the needed upfront cost. So 70 billion is the decade price.
There's no way. There's no way.
That's what it's saying. I don't
Dude, the Bills Stadium is $3 billion fucking dollars.
Yeah. It's a convertible though. Convertibles are always more expensive.
Dave. The Bills Stadium is $3 trillion.
3 billion.
Same thing. It's $3 billion. $3 billion, David.
Yeah.
A stadium is $3 billion.
Yeah.
They're building 180 high-rise apartments with luxury complexes.
That's their numbers. I don't know.
Okay. So we'll just go to the first year cost because it's not that I don't believe them, but they're saying 20 billion upfront. Okay, so 20 billion to 70 billion over a course of a decade, and to give for how college education is what now?
Well, it's cited a few different plans. The plan Bernie Sanders specifically cited, I guess, was
Perfect.
800 billion.
We'll use this 800 billion.
Sure,
So $1 trillion
a little less.
over a decade.
Which,
Okay.
by the way, Trump is committing, I think, $1 trillion. He said this in the State of the Union. He's committing $1 trillion to our military. Which, by the
Okay.
way, Trump. I don't want to derail this too much, but I
No,
couldn't help but
go,
notice.
Dave. This will all. It just all. Go ahead. Go
Okay,
ahead. I
I
figured
couldn't
it
help
out.
but notice. But when Trump said at the State of the Union last night that he wanted to add $1 trillion to our military, I couldn't help but think we had a plan to add some money to the military, Ryan, but
There's like 1,000 times that amount.
we took it all the way. We said what's left in the world for the United States to borrow, and it was like $100 trillion. And we said let's put that into the military, the whole 100 trillion, because then you rule the world. No, you first of all you don't have to pay it back because come fight me. I have $100 trillion military. It's not going to work. And then we can do whatever the fuck we want because we don't owe anybody anything. Like we just
It
make
was
everybody
literally a
global
joke.
slaves, Ryan. This is what this works. Yes,
Yeah,
it's
it was
satire,
literally.
but
It,
yes.
it was literally a joke, and then it's like this is the greatest risk strategy ever. If I
And I
just
know,
have
like, I
unlimited.
just know that Trump saw it and went, "It's actually not a bad idea."
He watched it. He said, I
Yeah, you
can't
know,
do
like
100, but I can get a trillion.
hundred
Trillion's a lot. It's
trillion's
a
pretty
lot of money.
crazy.
It's pretty crazy, even for Trump. It's a Trump number. Okay, so Trump is committing $1 trillion. He said that.
Yeah, he said that. Yes, at the State of the Union, which
Okay,
was
and
actually
that's
the
how
first I
much.
heard of that.
So that's how much it would cost to do student free college for every student.
It's a little more. Yeah, it's you could do college and rebuild Gaza for less than Trump's military.
Okay, this is what I'm saying. I I'm also going to preface two other things. When I say I figured it out, I don't actually have the answers. What I mean by I figured it out is I think I caught them in their logic, like we did with all the Epstein pedophile shit. But I caught them. I reverse psychology. They're reverse psychology. Dave, that's how I think we do here. We kind of just invert them and be like, "What are you really doing?" And then when you start digging it in, like Whitey Bulger, there, you're like, "Huh." And you're just all connected to all this shit. You made a movie about a guy that was connected to Operation fucking
That seems like a
whatever.
random guy to make a movie about.
Yeah, really random guy. Really random guy to allow you to just get away and then you transfer him. Why'd you transfer him? Well, I mean,
I don't know. It just
okay.
seems like he'd be more likely to get beat with a padlock at this other prison.
Yeah, so it's a lot easier to beat him with a padlock there. So $1 trillion military.
Yeah,
He's
well,
committing the exact
I
amount
did
that we
really. I think we already spent a pretty fucking penny on the military.
okay, and this all plays into everything I always talk about on the show. Psychology should be added to the list of history, religion, politics, but I think
Well, now the list is getting too big. Now you're just
no,
talking
that's yeah, exactly. That's why it's got to stay the floor, David. Um, because when you ask a conservative or a MAGA dude, how do you feel about Trump spending $1 trillion on the military? Like, it's fucking great. It's gonna be good for us. We're gonna employ more military members. We're gonna get them firepower. We're gonna get them educated. Gonna get them fit, which is dope because I want jacked military guys that are smart and educated, taken care of, and have a retirement plan when they get home. Right? We all agree. Dope. Go for a fight for our country. Dope. Want to retire with a pension when you're 20? 20 years in, 30 years in, retire, blah, blah, blah. Dope. Do it. Dope. Okay. So we applaud that. But if I ask for $1 trillion to give every man, woman, and child college, which is basically what the military does, let's be honest here. That's what they do in the military. They make you go to school or they make you specialize in something, a trade school, something. You may not go to military college, but you have to do some other job in the military other than fucking the military, right? We're all in agreement there. So, but we can't do that because we don't want the government in charge of education, which I agree, right? I'm not saying this has to be government ran,
Well, this is
right?
one of the prefaces, right?
Right. This is the
This has
preface. I
always
do
been one of the prefaces because, like,
right.
when you talk about
I
this, I
don't agree
agree.
with yes,
It's
I
a
don't
bad
agree with
idea, but the point is, if we're going to spend the money, at least spend it here.
Well, I think the actual point is like we have the money, we just don't have the fucking idea. Like that,
Well, I mean,
Dave, this is what I mean by I figured it out because I don't actually have the answer, but I could piss off enough people to get all the right people in the room to get the answer together. Like that's I genuinely like I could get the Noah's Ark of people to figure out all the stuff. That's what I actually believe because it's like, listen, you have $1 trillion for a military, but you don't have $1 trillion for university college for people for 10 years. When I would argue the return on investment of having a higher educated population is way more important than having a more highly powered military that is already the most powered military in the world by like a million. Rome doesn't need another fucking battalion. It doesn't need another centurion. It doesn't. We can get one. I'm not against it. If we need it, fine, whatever. But if you have the money for that, and then also, Dave, we've covered on the program that the money ain't even fucking real because you're borrowing it from people that you're not even going to pay back because you're just going to give Elon part of Mars. So it don't even fucking matter. So when Elon bitches about paying taxes, he's not bitching about paying taxes. He's making you aware because it's all part of the psychology to make poor people feel sorry for rich people's billionaire problems. Am I entitled to his money? No. Are you entitled to help the world and fix it and pay more in taxes? No. Should you? Yeah. Yes. Now, when you buy a jet, does it help people because of trickle down economics? Ronald Reagan, right? Because you have to pay the engineer and the designer and the people at the company and then the people to work on it, the people to deliver it. Sure, I agree with you. I agree with you. But I also agree that I think there's enough money in that entire chain to pay everybody at least enough money to afford an apartment by themselves. If money isn't really real because we're just borrowing it off of fucking, you've already inflated the money that don't matter. And what am I supposed to believe that America's gonna let them lose superpower? And if I'm a betting man, David, I'd rather bet on the fact that America is gonna be here longer than the dollar. So like the idea that I'm worrying about inflation on the dollar when that's what they want me to worry about doesn't actually matter because inflation is part of their plan to devalue your retirement.
well, Ryan, how could you say that we're going to be here longer than the dollar? It's not like we're getting rid of any of our currency.
They killed the penny. I told you guys the reason. Look, you only need to get rid of the penny. You will have $100 bill and that's it. And then you won't be able to print past 100 because it doesn't make sense to print $10,000 bills. And they're not going to print any more money because they're going to tell you it costs too much money to fucking print money because they got rid of the penny because they said it costs too much money to print money. How can it cost money to print money? You borrow the money. Of course, it's going to cost more money to print money. You have to borrow money to print the money because it costs money to spend money. It's like you got to spend money to make money, right? That's literally the saying. They taught you that, but the Federal Reserve tells us we have to eat that at 3% a year. But you have to spend money, Federal Reserve. But it was just a con job, anyways, wasn't it, David? Or is that still a conspiracy that people haven't waken up to, like global pedophile rings? And I'm not saying just because Jeffrey Epstein's right, David, blah, blah, blah. But I've come on the program and I've talked about all the ones that I do believe are real. And I've told you about the strategy. And here we are. They have $1 trillion for the military, but they won't educate all of our kids to have master's degrees. Why?
I have a fix, Ryan.
There's no fix. What's the
No,
fix?
I have the fix.
What is it?
Um, everyone who wants free college can be selected against their will to go to the military.
No.
But
It's
then you
not
get
how it
free
works.
college. Yeah, but what if
It's not how it works.
but
It's
we'll
not
make
how
it
it
work
works.
that way. We
It's
can just
not
make it
how.
work that way.
And now it's not how it works.
You just have to do something to get the free college.
Do
It's like
what?
indentured servitude.
David, look. The idea of this country was that the hard work is so for future generations pay off. We're there.
What if we just had
Dude,
more slaves?
no, Dave, I'm tired. This is what I'm
You could have
saying.
apartments
No,
and
this is what they want. No, that, and I'm not going communist on you, so don't. I'm there. We need an evolution of the system that we operate in. Like
So to be clear, I just want clarity. You're
yeah, yeah,
against indentured servitude,
yeah. I don't want slavery or
against
anything.
slavery.
Yeah, I don't want any kind of slavery. I am against tyranny, against all forms, against the
What if it was a
body and mind of man. And so
mutual consent contract?
no, no, stop. Stop. That's a legal term for legal bankers to print dollars based on a social security number. No,
What if we paid
no,
people in pennies?
no, no. That is, Dave, that is the con. There's enough money to give everybody a house with solar panels off the grid and electric cars to
Oh,
drive around
houses.
for
That's got to be fun.
no, David, no, it's not fucking expensive. Money isn't real, David.
How
It
much to give
used to
everyone a
mean
house?
something because it was backed by something, but they gutted that in the 1900s, David. We haven't had real money and no one gave a fuck then because fiat currency wasn't so devalued that it was so recognizable that I used to do the same job at McDonald's for $7 an hour. It now pays $20 an hour. What? What you put in, give
Okay.
everybody home?
Yeah, I looked at how much it would cost to give everybody a house. So it broke into
Mm-hmm.
three categories.
Mm-hmm.
Ending homelessness is a mere $30 billion a year, which is but just move them all to Gaza. That would fix it. Providing affordable, subsidized housing to all who need it, $169 billion. Because really, that's not that crazy. Give everyone a house. This is what I'm talking about. Estimated cost $55 trillion. I like it. Everyone gets a house. Fuck you. Everyone gets a
That's
house.
2 years. Hold, look though. Look, here's the thing. Here's what I'm saying.
That's half of
This
my
is why.
military price.
This is why we need to, dude. I'm done. They did so good. This is what the founding fathers talked about. They did so good, dude. It's about the mind of man. Capitalism is done. It doesn't work. It not that it doesn't work. We are beyond it. There's so much money. It don't work anymore. It don't work. What was your number there? What was the thing?
To give everyone a house?
Yeah.
55 trillion.
Okay, so that's 2 years. What's our GDP as a country? $30 trillion.
I think we looked this up recently. $31.49 trillion.
Okay, so 2 years of the United States in our entire wealth can give everybody in America a house. What's the issue?
Well, that's I don't think that's necessarily. You would need to know your yearly revenue.
I don't really give a fuck, Dave. I don't
Well,
really
but
give a fuck. Money,
that's what you
Dave.
would need.
No, no, Dave. Stop. Stop. That is a fucking bank. That is a bank term.
What if I flip
What? Hold
this
on.
on you completely?
There's nothing to dude. There's
No,
nothing
no,
to flip.
but hear me out. What if I told you we can't afford any of
Well, that's also true.
it? What if it's the opposite of what you're saying? And in fact, we can't. Not only can we not afford free college, we definitely can't afford to fucking blow up a city and then build it again.
Well, somebody can because it gets done.
Well, somebody surely can.
David, the people building that place aren't spending their own money.
No, of course not.
Okay, so we have the money
Well,
to give everybody college. If we can have money to give the military $1
we
trillion, it's
can
not about
come up with the money.
profits. Yeah, however you have to word it for it to make sense to a banker is fine, but the thought, the mythology,
Here,
the
Patrick bet David this
archetypal
thing.
story.
Let me put it to you this way. Um, can you afford to go buy a $70,000 car?
No.
Can you get credit
Somebody would
to
finance me,
could
probably.
you finance a $70,000 car?
Probably, yeah.
That's that's what we're doing.
No, no.
Well, as a nation, that's what we're doing. Yeah.
Yeah, Dave, because the bank wanted you to do that.
Well, yeah, they want you to do it too because then they get to.
Stop here.
Well, the bank does. The bank absolutely wants people
Dave,
to finance cars.
Dave, Dave, you're sucking the dick of all of the people that fuck
Well,
kids.
I'm just explaining what happens.
We
Banks
all know what
absolutely
happened.
want to give people money because that
Dave,
means
we
they make
all
money
know
on
what
the money they
happens.
gave you.
We all go to work every day.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we're going to work so they can fuck kids.
Well, that's not why I'm going to work. They do fuck kids, absolutely. I
No,
don't go to
it's
work so they can fuck kids.
at the yeah, you do at the tippy top. You do. You're just doing busy work so they can fuck kids. Like, tell me what else it is. That's all this is. This is to keep you busy so you're not mad at them. What the fuck are you talking about?
I think we
What are you
recently.
talking about?
No, it was probably a little while ago, but we did in one episode we did say something along the lines of if they're not fucking kids, they're blowing kids up or something like that. I think
They're killing kids or fucking them.
that was one of the two. Yeah, they're doing one of the two.
Yeah, they just they got you at work and watching Netflix so that you're not mad at them fucking kids and blowing them up. It's over. They have the money. They told every single one of those statements. We don't have the money for health. It was all Overton window fucking propaganda operation. They're all. It's all right there.
Well, we looked this up before. We looked up where they get the money.
They have all the money. They know that they could give us all health care, all college, all, and I'm not meaning like government provided. They could set up a system and fund a private company to do all that. They could. They could 100% do it. They do it with the military. Look at how efficient the military is. That's paid for by military contractors, set up by military contractors. Construction is paid for by government money. It's paid to by private companies.
Well, we looked into that too with like where does the money we dug into this before, but the money that we give to Israel every year, where does that go? Military contractors. So we give Israel money so they can buy stuff from our contractors.
Yeah,
Dude, imagine giving your friend $20 so he could buy a burger at your fucking restaurant. Like it's just this. It's
and
like
here's
trying to
and here's the
justify that's retarded.
and here's the
Just give
inverse.
them a burger.
This is what pisses me off. Okay, so hold those all those concepts. How come all the concepts we have, and I know it's because it's all fucked up on purpose, but it's like it's all the government shit, right? But it's like when it comes to clothing or cars, people know the quality, the brands, be like, oh, this is why this is so oh, this is more money because they do this. Everybody can understand the intrinsic values of all the shit that don't matter. But when we look over here, they're like, well, we can't afford college for everybody because, I didn't have to pay for my student loan. Who says anybody should have any student loan? Well, you're not learning your lesson. Isn't it the idea of having kids and bettering your country is so that your future generations don't have to go through the struggle that you went through? How about the idea of Americans never
Well,
have to pay for
but Ryan,
college debt?
that would be. Uh, I always get I always get the phrase wrong, but that would be good times creating weak men
Yeah,
in a way,
I
right?
don't I don't disagree, but this is where I said we're coming to a head because while we've had good times creating good men or whatever, the rich still kept all their money. And now they have so
Oh,
much
of course,
money, they're gonna be able to build robots and literally get rid of people. So when you get rid of people, what are you gonna do? Pay them to sit at home? Yes,
right?
they are
Can you
because we
point
can.
to one Amazon warehouse in your city that does that?
Lancaster is doing it
Oh, perfect.
literally just today.
Laid off what, like 500 people or something?
I know somebody just got.
I saw that headline. Crazy. Yep, we got
Look and
robots. Fuck you. Get fucked.
look, and here's the thing. As a business owner, right back to the banking that we'll put on the banker hat. Well, the cost of means of production. Yeah, cost of means of production are high and all this stuff. I'm not saying oil should be free. That's not what
You
I'm
know what
fucking
bothers me about
saying.
the
That's
Amazon
the shit
warehouses?
I'm not saying. Well, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Um, presumably they're doing it to save money, right?
It's going to
Pass
cost more money to build a robot.
pass that bitch on to me. Why is my Prime not 30 fucking dollars a year instead of 100?
Well,
Just saved all their money, right?
the cost of everything, David, has just gone up. And here's the ultimate kicker. That's the kicker, is the cost of everything goes up. Okay, if you can just raise your prices arbitrarily, how come we can't just compensate arbitrarily for the cost of, I don't know, giving your citizens health care and fucking education? The reason they don't want you educated is because the people that get educated, not only do you make more money, you live a longer life, you live a healthier life, you also get married
Well,
and you stay
that's only
married.
on average, though.
Yeah, only on it. Yeah, we don't wanna increase our overall averages. Just imagine if the average American, like, I don't know, 70% of us made over 6 figures a year each, and we were I'm talking men and women. I'm not even talking back to the way I'm talking modern era. What if both you and your wife made 6 figures and you were both fit and you both were healthy and happy and you both had your own spiritual outlet and you both had extra time and hobbies and you had sick days if you actually got sick? That wasn't a week, you had, like, a month of sick time. Like, imagine that. And now, once again, I'm not saying that it needs to be government provided. I'm not saying the mechanism to get there. I'm just saying I understand the concept of utopia and how to say, like, dude, we actually have the capacity, I think, for the first fucking time.
Well,
We
this was
actually have it.
in some way, this was always our biggest issue with Bernie Sanders, right? Is that he always seemed like he pinpointed the problem very well, and then he immediately turned to the worst solution possible.
Yeah, because I don't think, look, we have, and that's what I mean about, like, that's why I reference how much money it would be to end this or what we spend on this. It was just to show that the amount of funds that we actually have at our disposal is so large that it can, like, and I know, once again, I can barely manage my life. I'm not saying I can manage a nation of 300 million people, but now that this is where I was kind of going with all this, Dave. Like, I asked you kind of the other day, now that, like, everybody kind of knows, like, at least 50% of us know they're fucking kids and accept it. Like, what do we do now? Like, 70% of us are like, oh man, that's kind of like, what do we do now? And I told you, I was like, Dave, that we did what we set out to do.
Mhm.
Like, we set out, I set out, you set out. We're like, we're going to wake people up. We woke people up. So now what? And it hit me today. It was like, dude, obviously we talked about the evolution of this podcast, and it started as waking people up, and then it just turned into, like, a fun outlet, and then, like, actual momentum, and then we predicted the future. It got fun. It's been my whole point in saying that is, I'm like, I was literally driving around today and I was like, these motherfuckers did it, dude. Alex said it's a war for your mind, right? Like, but they did it.
Well, that sounds like a Project Artichoke conspiracy theory, right?
Dave, they got you to think that they can't give you anything because rich people can't afford it when they don't pay for anything anyways because a business buys it. That is reimbursed by the government. But the government doesn't have any money because it's got low tax revenue because it doesn't have anybody to tax. So it taxes the next people that can afford
Well,
it
it's got me, you,
until,
and everybody watching to tax, right?
right, but that's what I'm saying. And then the people, when you can't afford that, you float the credit cards, which just go to a bank and you pay inflated interest on it. What is a bank? A bank is something guaranteed by the government already. So the bank already operates like it can just leverage everything, which puts it in the stock market. And the stock market is based on our overall GDP as a country, anyways, which is dictating all of our values for all of our companies at all of our levels because of how we're operating. And if our standard is that it's how good our companies are doing, why wouldn't you want better employees? And what better way to get better employees than to better educate them and better train them? And better we should give everybody an IQ test, a personality test. We should give them an attachment test. We should give all these things every 5 years of your life, no matter how fucking old you are. You should be able to go down to a healthcare clinic and get it done. And it should be paid for by companies. And there should be companies that their profit is in making America healthy, like what RFK is talking about. There should be actual companies, maybe ran by influencers. Like, maybe that's what it takes. Jake Paul's fucking, I'm not saying he needs to be the guy. I'm just saying, like, maybe somebody has enough money that gives a fuck enough. Like, um, Tony Robbins, right? He's trying to end fucking, that guy's trying to end world hunger by himself. And he's saying, all I need to do is raise money. So I'm out there raising, and if he can do it by himself with a jet, like, dude, I don't have money for college for my daughter, but we have money to send to fucking rebuild Gaza. We have money for a military. I thought our military was the greatest thing ever, Trump. That is a discombobulator. It was so advanced that the other stuff couldn't even turn on. But you need more of my money, but my daughter has to pay for college and be burdened with generational debt so that she has to further push her life back because you already increased the length of mortgages, so people aren't even going to own their fucking home in their lifetime. They're going to have to leave a two-thirds paid off mortgage to their kids, and their kids aren't even going to be able to afford the house they can lived in because, like just Ben Shapiro said, you're not entitled to live here because we didn't have the money to send you to a good school because the school prices got inflated because some kids got loans and some kids got paid for by mommy and daddy. And they want the mommy
Apparently,
and daddy kids so that they can drive out those that get the loans. Because the loans is the only thing that saves some people. The only thing that saved me was going to college. The only thing that saved me was a government saying, here's $10,000 to maybe go fucking fail. And the government can give, I don't give a fuck if people never pay their student loan back. I'm tired of hearing about it. We were all told to go to school. We were all told to go be better. We were all told all these things. And now that it's our generation and we're sitting here waiting for them to all die in power, we're told we got to pay our fair share because they had to pay theirs. No, you told me to go. You told me to go. You built the apparatus. You pushed the apparatus. You control my generation through all the media and all the television. You brought this on us. You allowed all the big bankers. You guys sold us out. If anything, you should be bailing us out because you guys sold our country out before we even got the reins of the horse. But that ain't going to be said, which is why I said, let's go back to, they always say, follow the fucking money. Okay, you say you can't afford out. I'm focusing on education because it's the only thing that saved me. The only thing that has set people free from government control and global slavery is global pedophile rings. The only way that you found out about global pedophile rings was education because of some documents that were released because somebody was educated enough to release the documents the right way. So education saved the world. So only education can save the world going forward. So why are we spending more on military than we are education? When you're telling me you can't afford the fucking education to make a better nation, but you can afford a fucking country, the country's defense for a worse, you're going to defend a degrading nation? What fucking sense does that make? That doesn't even make sense at a practical standpoint, let alone an economic standpoint, let alone an actual standpoint that we should want all of our kids to be smarter. We should all want to pay more taxes to make our kids smarter. Not saying I agree with the theory of pay all of my money in taxes. Government is bloated, corrupt, needs to be fixed 100%. I agree like everybody else, and I'm not going to get it overnight. But this is why I said I figured out utopia, David. It's the first time we actually, in the first time in human experience, all the books, all the dictators, all the kings, Alexander, the Mongols, all the philosophers, Jesus, all these people preached all the shit trying to do the same thing. They were trying to get everybody to just stop fighting, have them have enough food so that they could have a fucking family and grow old, die, have children, and repeat until the end of time. That's all anybody ever wants. All we want is clean air, food, water, and education, David. That's all we fucking want. But we do everything to prevent that. We spend the least on it. The thing that saves us is the thing we spend the least on. You spend more, police officers make more money than a teacher. A teacher has to have tenure, and a cop can have like 50 college credits and make more than a fucking teacher. Not that I agree with teachers making a bunch of money because they're off. It's fucked up. The system's fucked up. It's bloated, corrupt, like it everything. I'm not saying more government. I'm not saying get rid of government. The funds
I've
are
always
actually
said
fucking,
teacher pay plans should be performance based,
dude. The shit,
and
but
make the cap high, make it worth it.
it
But you
don't
have
even
to
matter.
you have
Dude,
to
hold on.
find a way to.
Here's the thing, Dave. This is where I'm going with like this utopia thing. I understand that we can't just have a society without value and hierarchy. That's the Jordan Peterson. So I get that, but we also just can't have a society that seems so hopeless that it's not even worth fucking trying, which is where we are. We only have two types of people right now. You have the people that are like, I will work 7 jobs to get ahead, or you have the people that be like, dude, I don't care. I'll work McDonald's and starve and die. And neither of those people can exist with the other, and neither of us can all exist in themselves. And I'm not saying this kumbaya bullshit. What I'm actually saying is like, I want everybody to just, and this comes out of me selfishly seeing my family suffer and struggle in mental health or money or alcoholism. That's why I care about socioeconomic.
Well, we grew up on good
I
sugar water, so I
yeah,
can't relate.
I know that's why I care about society. I know that's why I care about addiction. I know that's why I know about human nature. It's because that shit that raised me made me really aware of all the surroundings. Is as I got older and my models of the world got bigger, it was like, wow, man, this is all fucked up. And I don't have the answers. And I'm trying to just ask questions. But like, we have the money, we have the education, we have the means. We all have phones on Earth now. They have phones in Africa. We all have the education and technology now, but we have censored algorithms because elites in power, because they want to fuck our kids, so they distract us. And this isn't even like this is all engineered by the Illuminati. It might be. It probably is. All that shit, yes, we can prove it with the skull and bones. But like I'm just saying, the basic principle is rich people in general they don't want the poor people to get smart. Just that in its you don't even need Illuminati. It's they want the have and have nots. There's very few rich people that actually want you to be rich. The people, the good people that want you to be wealthy, those are the super wealthy people a lot, they say. Those are the people with overabundance, right? A lot of the good talk you hear on the internet. But there's shitty people that make money too. And they pull the ladder rungs out. And that happens more than the good people because you know why? Because even at the bottom of the ladder, there's less good people than bad people. It's a human nature thing. So it's not money, right? Because you all hear this: money don't make you happy, and money proves what person you are. It proves what you already have. You can't buy your way to good character. Tate says when you get rich, you lock in your character where you are with your morality. It's such a powerful, even if it's not true a little bit, like the thought of it, like now that I've made it, I can't like barter because now I got this and I got all the you got to move different and it makes so much sense. It makes so much fucking sense. But it's like if money can't buy you morals and can't buy you happiness, and we can just have enough of it, and that's like basically the problem with everything. It's not throw money at it. It's what can we use the money for? What can we build with the money? If I on a construction site only have 6 screws and I only use 5 of them, and then I take the other screw and use it somewhere else, what we're not that efficient. We can't have a private company. We can't make companies that can do this, but we can make all the AI companies to track Nancy Pelosi stocks. Like I know it's like reminds me a little bit of like Kanye on Rogan, but like it's the first time that we actually have the access to like do it. And the thing that's crazy is now that we know everything, they're just gonna flood us with the dopamine and the drugs and the alcohol or the TV and the movies and the screens are just gonna get better and more enhanced and the VRs are gonna get more digitalized and you're just gonna be sucked in while they're out there living they're reaping the benefits and they'll pay you to stay home. They're gonna tell you the whole time, "We can't afford universal basic income," for 50 years, and then the year 51, they're gonna be like, "Well, we have to pay you universal basic income now." We came up with this plan last night, obviously, David, clearly we weren't discussing this over the last decade. We're gonna implement this thing, and you guys will all be able to sit at home and watch Netflix while we figure out what's gonna go on. If you don't think they want that, you're fucking retarded. They don't want you healthy. That's why they don't care if you're fat. That's why the doctors will lie to you and prescribe you drugs that have worse side effects than you being fat or depressed or it. I'm not just connecting dots. You guys got caught. Trust the science. The science was a lie. Grandma's honey recipe works better for allergies than fucking Benadryl. But don't listen to your elders because we don't learn our history. Because we think some innovation outdoes what got us here. And once again, I know it's just theology. I'm cool with theology. I actually think that's like my specialty a little bit, David, creativity and theology. But I don't think we're at the point anymore that I can hear conservatives or Democrats say that we can't afford anything. Because They don't afford it on purpose because they don't want you wealthy. They don't want you educated. They don't want you happy. They don't want you in a good relationship. They don't want you to have a relationship with God. Like, they don't want you to have that. And the people that have it, it's getting smaller and smaller because it's the have and have nots, best of times, worst of times. And with the robot coming, the robot could be a fluke too. That's the other thing. We dump all the shit in AI, me included. I'm worried. Oh, AIs take over. AIs take over. Elon said we're in the algorithm already. We're already in the AI. We're already AI. Like, it don't even got to come. We're already doing it. We all sit around with our phone out. We're already in the matrix. They already got it. All the rich people don't. They're out of the matrix. They're unplugged. They put the phone down, right? Neo picks up the phone to leave the matrix. He put the phone down in the matrix. He put the phone down in real life and go live. Crazy. Crazy. And you gotta think, there's a cord in that matrix. They cut the cords on the phones. The prison went with you. The matrix went with you. So I don't know. Until I keep interpreting the same allegories that they live their lives by, David, I will see you guys next time. Dave Ryan, 1773. Catch us on Rumble for the greatest podcast in human history. As always, David, I appreciate you the most, and I will see everybody later.
Thanks, Roman. Thanks, Ryan.
Thanks, Dave.